We see it all over the internet. We all want to build muscle, lose fat at the same time. And while this sounds so incredible, your results are going to be completely different from another individual. I have been on both sides of the spectrum. I was overweight at almost 200 pounds, and I was actually underweight as well. I've had ups and downs throughout my weight loss journey, but there are 5 key things that have changed my life in terms of building muscle while losing fat at the same exact time. If you guys don't know me, I'm Elizabeth with ElizabethAylorFitness, 4-year degree in kinesiology, CSCS, holistic nutritionist, and GAPS practitioner. The truth is, everybody's body is different, and you can't just go into a body recomposition phase expecting to increase your calories and lift a little bit of weight and get these big transformations that you may be seeing all over the internet. Enough talk. We're just gonna dive right into it. Here are 5 key things that you need to know in terms of building muscle, losing fat, body recomposition. Let's do this. So the first thing that you need to know is going to be who can do a body recomposition. And so many people actually can, but let's break it down. If you are a newbie to training, meaning you have been training for less than 1 year, you are gonna get good results on a body recomposition. Also, if you are a detrained athlete, so for example, you may have been training for a while and then taken a period of time off from training or not training at your full intensity and then gotten back to it hardcore, you're also going to be very prime to body recomposition. And then the other one I want to hit on is if you guys were training in the past, but maybe not at that full intensity and our nutrition maybe wasn't the best. And now you're coming back at it with some intense training, really focusing on your nutrition, your recovery, and optimizing your training. That is when you are also going to be primed for a body recomposition. The second key thing that you need to know is it's not just about increasing your calories. There are 2 things that we need to look at, and it is going to be our macronutrients as well as the quality of food. Let's break that down. Your macros are your carbs, fat, and protein. When you are hitting your total calories for the day, it is about getting the right ratios of those carbs, fat, and protein for your body and your metabolism. One of the key macronutrients that we want to focus on is our protein. Depending on how old you are as well as your training intensity and how lean you are, it's important to aim for around 0.8 to 1.25 grams per pound of lean muscle mass. Protein is the building block of muscle. It's actually going to provide your body with all of the amino acids for repair of your muscle fiber tissues. So if we're training hard and we're breaking down our muscle fibers, we need adequate amounts of protein so that we're able to repair, build those muscles, and get stronger in the gym. It also plays many key roles in terms of our satiety as well as our hormones in our body. Getting enough protein is very important on a body recomposition. When it comes to carbohydrates and fat, I don't like to go too low with fats because fats are actually very good for us when we're coming from healthy sources. I like to consume fat sources rich in omega-3s that are very anti-inflammatory to the body. Some examples of this would be wild-caught salmon, some plant-based sources would be flax seeds, chia seeds, hemp seeds. I love doing sardines as well, so good for you guys. And also, you need fats for absorption of your fat-soluble vitamins. So low-fat diets, don't look at them. Make sure to get plenty healthy fats in your diet. Then I fill up the remaining of my calories with carbohydrates. If you guys need more in-depth information, I actually have a whole guide below for you guys. It is my Stop Doing Crunches core guide, and I deep dive into everything in terms of macronutrients, micronutrients, the importance of each one in your body, and how to create the perfect meal to balance your blood sugar levels and master your metabolism. And I will put all of the description in below. After we looked at our macros, we gotta look at the quality of our food. So you could be eating, you could be following flexible dieting, which I love, but you could be eating all this processed food, going out, getting fast food, and putting that in your daily macronutrients. Now instead, if we focus on 80%, Now let's look into the quality of food. So I'm a big fan of flexible dieting. And what this is basically you have your carbs, fat, and protein to eat each day. And dependent on the foods that you want to eat, and as long as you hit those macros, you will reach your goals. But here's the deal. Quality of food does matter. I really focus with my clients on a 80-20 approach. 80% coming from our whole foods, 20% coming from your other foods, I would say. By focusing on a whole food diet, 80% whole foods, 20% of the other, you are going to be providing your body with so much nutrition in terms of micronutrients, so all your vitamins, your minerals, as well as you're going to get tons of fiber that is going to feed the good bacteria in the gut, help produce those short chain fatty acids. And if you guys don't know, I'm a huge person when it comes to gut health. And when you have a good gut flora, your gut is the center of your immune system. It runs your metabolism, the gut-brain connection. So if you're giving your body fermented foods, tons of fiber, you're getting in your healthy fats, omega-3 rich foods, you're gonna be supporting your body with all the micronutrients that it needs to run at its optimal level. You may realize that if you do fill up your calories with more of those fun foods, more processed foods, you may get more cravings, not feel satisfied after your meals, and actually bloated, weighed down more often than less. Not saying cut it all out, I'm just saying find balance, and the more you focus on a whole food diet and supplying your body with all of its micronutrients from a diversity of food, you're gonna feel your best self, and you're gonna be going towards your overall health and longevity to get those sustainable results. The third thing that you need to know in terms of body recomposition is going to be the type of training does matter. So many of my clients, they come to me and they are doing, I'm gonna throw it out there, a lot of junk volume with their training, and I'm gonna explain it, but also what we're doing is more of what I call cardio strength training. So you may be grabbing a lightweight, going for a ton of reps, taking a 30-second break, maybe throwing in some burpees, then repeating, and you think that you have to sweat all the time, have that heart rate up in order to burn fat, build muscle, and get your results. And while you may think that, it's a little different than that. So the key when it comes to body recomposition is focusing on, number one, the compound movements. So an example, bicep curls would be an isolation movement. You are working one joint, one muscle. If you're doing, for example, shoulder press, you are utilizing different joints. You're working your triceps, your biceps, your shoulders, so many muscles at once. And that's gonna give you more of that metabolic effect in terms of building muscle. Also, we wanna focus on progressive overload. So what I mean by this is instead of going to the gym and changing your workouts every single week, by instead following one program for around 6 to 12 weeks and every week focusing on either increasing the weight lifted or pushing for more reps, you're actually gonna be breaking down your muscle fibers. So you're gonna give it the protein so it's able to repair, recover, and you're gonna be getting stronger in the gym, and you're gonna get more bang for the buck when it comes to your training. If you are new to lifting, you don't have to be focusing on crazy max effort lifts, but lifting around at least 65% of your max is a really good starting point, and then just applying that progressive overload from there. One more thing I wanna mention when it comes to training is don't pick multiple goals. When I first started my fitness journey, I was actually a competitive marathon runner, and I'm like, I wanna transform my body and I wanna be a competitive marathon runner. And you cannot do both at the same time. If you're looking to get the most when it comes to body recomposition, focus on prioritizing that strength training, prioritizing your nutrition, and focus on that. And once you achieve your goals there, say afterwards you wanna go into a marathon. Have different cycles with your training. I do this with all my clients. I have clients that come to me that are marathon runners or Ironman athletes, and we'll have on and off seasons. So our on season, we're focusing more on that one specific goal and utilizing the strength training to help them with functional training to get them stronger athlete and keep them from getting injured with their training. And then we'll have our off season where we're purely focusing on strength training, building lean muscle mass, and getting that during that time frame. So please, please, please pick one goal. If you're looking for body recomposition, focus on the progressive overload, focus on the compound movements, and focus on building that lean muscle. The fourth thing that you need to know if you're going for body recomposition is that you cannot be crazy lean and do a body recomposition. When you are crazy lean, your hormone levels dip, your protein breakdown increases, and your protein synthesis goes down. So your body is doing everything it can to hold on to the muscle that it has, let alone burn fat, build muscle at the same time. So if you're very lean, like I said, under 10% for males, under 18% for women, look into doing almost like a lean bulk for around 6 months at least. Spend the time focusing again, the compound movements, the progressive overload, eat in a surplus that you are gaining weight at a good rate of growth, and focus on that for then. Because remember, if you're too lean, you're not going to be able to burn fat and build muscle because you're not going to have that fat on you to burn, and your the hormones are not going to be optimal in terms of getting you to that point in terms of body. The fifth thing that you need to know when it comes to body recomposition is we're going to talk about underestimating your calories and doing measurements wrong. So here's the deal. I work with a lot of women, and we have almost a fear to eat more food, fear to increase the calories, and a lot of the times we go to these calorie calculators, and those are not optimal at telling you your maintenance calories. So when we're going for a body recomposition, we want to find our maintenance, but we want to be in a slight deficit, just a slight, so that we're able to have enough to recover, repair the right macronutrients, but we're in that slight deficit so we're able to burn fat. Now, what I like to have all my clients do, and I dive completely into this in my ebook, guys, my Stop Doing Crunches core guide that's below, is I have my clients track for around a week. We take an average of what they're currently consuming to find roughly what their maintenance calories are. Then we make the adjustments going into a slight deficit, and then from there we track each week. Now, this is a big one. Hear me out. Don't just look at the scale when it comes to body recomposition, because if you are building muscle and losing fat, you may have that scale not move, but if you're taking your pictures, your measurements, and you're looking at these long-term over every month, comparing them, then you may not be seeing that number on the scale move, which what a lot of beginners don't see sometimes, but you may be seeing these big transformations in how your clothes are fitting, in how your pictures look from one to the next. So when it comes to tracking your food, please make sure you are getting enough in the right amount to be in that slight deficit, not just being in a crazy deficit or overestimating. And this is coming through finding your true maintenance, track all your food instead of just guesstimating your macros. I weigh everything out, I put it into an app. And then when it comes to measurements, not just relying on that number on the scale and utilizing different things like measurements, progress pictures, and the way your clothes are fitting, as well as how you're getting in the gym in terms of your strength to measure your results. I hope you guys found these tips helpful today. If you guys need more help, I am now accepting just a few new clients, and I will put all my information below. Everything with my clients, I don't utilize apps. I work one-on-one, customizing everything in terms of their macros, their training based off of if they're at a gym or they're at home. We do weekly check-ins and adjustments based off of their progress, not just the number on the scale. So if you guys need help, send me over an email, and I would love to help you reach your goals and get long-term sustainable results when it comes to your physique. Thank you again for tuning in, and I hope you guys have an incredible day.